Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I'm Sean, this is In The Mix, a happy Friday wherever in the world you're watching. It's episode 140 and a huge Europa League semi-final. If you haven't gone back and watched the previous episodes from the rest of this week, please go and check them out. They're going to give you so much more context to the journey that we've gone on to get to this stage, including some huge wins across two legs against some very, very big European powerhouse teams. Now, we haven't made many finals from cup competitions in the last few years. Lower leagues, yeah, we did. We got through to a lot of different cup competitions. Even in the lower areas of the Football League itself, we did okay in cup competitions, but it's the first time in a while that we've got a real opportunity to make a cup final, so we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump straight into the game and see how we've gone. So, as you guys can see here, just above my head, we're currently down in the 6th spot. Tottenham have leapfrogged us from a couple of results. Played 2 games since yesterday's episode, where we, of course, beat Borussia Dortmund across 2 legs. We then drew 0-0 with Everton, because of course we did. There's always that kind of European hangover, and it was just a scenario where our front three didn't play particularly well, and that really kind of limited the amount of chances we had. Everton offered nothing. I don't think they had a single highlight. It was really just a case we couldn't find the back of the net, which was a bit of a struggle. And then we also played Leicester away from home, a good 2-1 win. We went 2-0 up inside 35 minutes. They did pull a goal back on the hour mark, but it was a very comfortable performance from us. And it gave us an opportunity to rest players a little bit in preparation for this match here, Red Bull Leipzig. Across 2 legs in the Europa League semi-finals, Liverpool play Espanyol in the other fixture. We would expect Liverpool to do well in that contest, if I'm being completely honest. So there's potential for an all-English final. There's potential for the first European final in our first year in European competition, which is absolutely crazy. But we don't want to look too far beyond Leipzig. They've got a very, very talented squad, it must be said. You can see here a lot of players over £50 million overall value, a lot of decent wages as well. There's a lot of guys here getting paid over $100,000 a week, which we can't afford. We're maxed out at around $80,000, and they've got guys in their squad who are just squad players effectively getting paid that same amount. Like, this guy's only 2.5 star and he's getting £83,000 a week, which is more than our best possible players. Interestingly, looking at the whole squad overview, they've only got one guy out injured, and I don't think he would particularly play anyway, so we are going to get the best of Red Bull Leipzig. Interestingly, they are managed by David Wagner, who was the Huddersfield manager a couple of seasons ago. I think previously he'd been like Klopp's assistant manager at Dortmund. And in the game universe, he's been back in Germany for a little while, making his way to Leipzig a couple of seasons ago, where he's doing relatively well. Got to give them credit as well. They have to be a decent side if they are making the semi-final, just the same as us. We thankfully have close to a full-strength lineup to pick from. The only player missing out from this first leg is Arnaud Henry due to yellow card suspension, which is just an accumulation of yellows over the course of the competition. Hasn't come at a good time, but at least we get him back for the away fixture. That's going to be massive for us. He is definitely our best player and very key to all the stuff that we're going to try and do in midfield. It will mean Gary Lester comes back in, a more than capable replacement, which is great for us. And otherwise, it's pretty much full strength. We're going to jump forward into the match itself. We'll do a full preview. I'll read you the lineup and we'll have a look at some of the players for Leipzig as well. Right, so the big one for us is that we're going attacking. We're playing at home. We want to try and get a positive result in this first leg and then try and defend something on our counter-attacking instructions in the away leg as they have to try and attack us. The danger with this is that it does leave a little bit of space in behind, and they have got a very good striker. We'll talk about him in a moment as well. But we're going Mancini in goal. He's been fantastic for us throughout the course of this season, not just in the league, but in our Europa League run as well. Mokhtar and Esteban as a defensive partnership, Carlos Andre and Fontana as the fullbacks. Lind and Leicester will anchor midfield. Leicester coming back in. Still doing all right, 22 years of age now. Came through at Southampton. We picked him up from West Ham during our first season in the Premier Division when we were trying to scoop up all that English talent. And £40 million, I wouldn't say we've entirely gotten the best return out of him, but in reality, he's been one of the players that's probably felt the most impact from us picking up David Lind, from us buying Arnaud Henry. They play in the same position. It's really limited his opportunities. But still 3-star current ability, a great squad player to have, and a good English player in midfield. Barbosa will play at the 10. He's been excellent over the last 6 or 7 weeks or so. Really given me a difficult decision during the off-season. I thought maybe this number 10 was one of the spots that we needed to try and recruit in, but he's up to 4-star current ability and potential. Still only 22, playing incredibly well. He's an outside chance to make a Brazil squad as well. Hopefully he can continue his decent little patch of form in the second half of the season with a good performance today. Ortiz was the hero against Dortmund in that second leg. His double is what eventually pushed us through. Hopefully he will continue a good spell of form as well. Peacock will play on the right. He's been magnificent for us as well. Rivera, our leading scorer, will lead the line up top. Looking over at Leipzig, also playing a 4-2-3-1. Pretty much every side we've come up against in this competition, during the knockout stages at least, has played a 4-2-3-1. They've got a few different players I want to look at. Bentelle's one in midfield, their leading assist maker for the season so far. 24-year-old German international. 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. A decent advanced playmaker. It looks like they're playing him a little bit deeper in the structure, maybe as a deep lying playmaker, which he isn't as comfortable with. He hasn't got the greatest tackling ability or anything like that. So he might be one that we try and catch out defensively speaking. Manfred Ost, an Austrian international, plays alongside him in midfield. Also a very good player. You can see he's valued at £50 million, which is very impressive. Good first touch, passing and technique. Similarly, an advanced playmaker. I think they're using him as either Messiah or something like that, just basing it on the position of this midfield area. Or he might be a deep line playmaker on support. It's hard to tell. Bentele is definitely on defend. It might be that Ost is supporting alongside him. We've got Gökhan Senol out here on the right wing, also a full German international, 4-star current ability and potential. Just a very solid squad, like a lot of 4-star players, which is very impressive. And this guy leading the line up top is, I think, the big concern. Similar to Timo Werner, he is pretty much their star man leading the line up top, £69 million worth of value. An advanced forward with 23 caps and 3 goals to his name. Fer will be someone that we have to keep an eye on. Good technical attributes, maybe finishing is the one that lets him down a little bit. Great dribbling though, excellent first touch, wonderful mental attributes, 19 composure, 18 off the ball, physically a beast as well, 20 agility, 18 pace, 17 acceleration. A very, very similar stat set to Timo Werner, if I'm being completely honest. And he's been at Leipzig now for 6 seasons at 24 years of age. That is impressive. He's got 89 goals and 191 appearances, just a shade under a goal every 2 games. We have to hope that he's going to struggle today if we want to get a good result. But he's one that we have to keep an eye on. He's their highest paid player. He's their star man. If we give him too much space in behind, I'm particularly looking at Elmedi Mokhtar here. I think he'll torch us and find a few finishes as well. We are going to passionately tell everyone. Media have given a lot of credit lately, and everyone's responded positively, which is fantastic for us. And there is an immediate highlight from kickoff. Please don't be a goal conceded. That will just destroy me. Laws has won the ball back. Ost has it now. Ball over the top for Fer. He's immediately gotten in behind, and he nearly finds the finish as well. That would have been devastating. That probably would have been one of those scenarios where I smash my computer and throw it out the window. Now we do have a throw in on the left-hand side. Good little interchange of passes here between Lester Barbosa and Carlos Andre. We've lost out to Ost again though, and this is in the transition. We have to be careful. Gökhan Senol comes forward. Lester with an excellent recovery challenge. Now Ortiz, give the ball up please. Keep possession. Lind out wide right now to Peacock. Wide right area. What can you do in the 1v1 situation? Gets a ball across to Rivera, front post, and if you had got that on target, keeper was nowhere near it. Just over the crossbar for our first real shot in anger in the game itself. We will kind of keep one half eye on the other fixture as well, Liverpool playing Espanyol. But really, we need to make sure that we're doing our job here as well. Throwing on the left, Carlos Andre to take. Can he get the ball across into Lind? Now Mokhtar, work it side to side. Esteban, don't lose possession there, boys, because you're not going to catch for if he gets goal side. Mancini now, Esteban. Long ball forward, not a particularly good clearance. Garcia picks it up for Leipzig. Long one forward, Mokhtar should win the free header. Ortiz now, back to Carlos Andre. Now Mokhtar, Ortiz, Leicester, good little triangle passing here, getting a few players involved. Lin now can turn, get towards goal. Looks out wide right to Peacock, who gets a strike away, it clips the post, and then Herrera in the Leipzig goal does well to get down and save the follow-up. But nice little passage of play there, waited for them to commit the men to the ball and then went a little bit longer over the top. We've got 10 minutes remaining in the half. We're going to use Get Creative, try and inspire everyone to try and take a chance before half-time, give us something to defend going into the second half. But so far, relatively tense. There is always that danger there from them. And we're through the 2 minutes of additional time. 8 shots, 3 on target, 60% of the ball for Isle of Man. Leipzig, 2 shots, none on target and 40% of the ball. But their best chance, probably that one early on for Fer in the opening 20 seconds or so. Assertively, I'm going to say passionately, I'm going to say it's time for everyone to dig in, show everyone what you've got. And I'm going to assertively tell the defence you can still improve. They haven't played poorly. I just want to try and make sure that they've got as much focus as humanly possible. Keeping an eye on it as well, Rivera not having the best game. If he doesn't score, we do tend to struggle. And while the 0-0 doesn't kill us in the water, it does make it a bit of a challenge going away from home. Peacock with a free kick, edge of the area, backstick towards Mokhtar. He can't get it on target though, just over the crossbar again. And we're through the hour mark. There's a highlight here. We're going to let this play out and then we'll have a look at making our subs. Ball all the way back to Mancini. Long ball forward to Leicester. A bit dangerous, but he managed to clear the press. Gökhan Senol wins it back and sends Fer into the channel. Mokhtar should recover. Plays it to Mancini and it's Mokhtar again. He's killing us this European campaign. He coughed up the ball a couple of times against Borussia Dortmund and it hurt us a bit. And that one is an absolute clanger and really puts Mancini in the shit as well. So we're going to look at subs immediately. What worked for us last time? We're going to switch these wing-backs to attack. It worked against Dortmund. It might work against Leipzig because we need to try and get at least 1 goal back. Winger on attack. As things currently stand, we would need to score 2 goals away from home, which isn't an ideal situation. Barbosa hasn't played particularly well. Can we adjust something around there? Maybe Cambridge? No, that's not going to do the job. Bungu for Rivera, I don't think that's really going to answer our questions either. We might get Majidou on there. He's good as an attacking player. What can Berber do from right wing back? Okay, he's a little bit better as an attacking wing back as well. Passionately, we're going to say, I've faith in you. And it's 2 wing back swaps, which is always a bit risky. And I don't really want to watch this one in 3 dimensions if I'm being honest. Senol, good ball in. Mokhtar should just be dealing with this, but he sends the pass short and Fur right on top of it. Slides it home into the far corner. It's not great, and then we're going to use our Get Creative shout as well. We've got to pull something back, boys. Liverpool 2-0 up in their match at Anfield, the commanding lead to take into their away leg against Espanyol. Not seeing that much in terms of highlights here. Maybe we'll switch up and go to counter just for the last 10 minutes. We have got one more sub up our sleeve as well. Let's just go by match rating, and it's Rivera who's struggling. We're going to bring on Bangu, and he hasn't scored in about 10 games. Maybe this is the one. We're also going to use Demand More shout with 10 minutes remaining. We've got a highlight here, right-hand side, Berber with the ball. Esteban in possession, all the way back to Mancini. Come on, boys, get the ball forward. Ball into Leicester now in midfield. Maybe the quality of not having Henri out there is going to tell in through the course of the game, but Leicester's done fine. Ortiz skips past a couple and gets a strike away. Herrera equal to it, saves and holds. Is that the end of the highlight? It is. All right, deep goal kick for Herrera. Long one forward. Celotin does very well to bring the ball down. Excellent touch. Finds Lind now in midfield. Forward to Barbosa. Back to Lind. We've coughed up possession again. Bentele with the ball over the top for Fur, who's gotten goal side again. And he's thankfully an excellent save from Mancini, who has had a fantastic campaign for us throughout this Europa League run. Dawn with the corner. Looks towards back stick. It's headed away by Esteban. Now Peacock. Can he carry the ball forward? We've got numbers trying to join him in midfield. If he can run it. Oh, it's a good challenge and a good tracking run from Laws. Thought maybe that ball might come there just for a split second. We're going to hit pause. I'm going to use Get Creative. 2.5 more minutes of additional time to be added on. Is there any late drama in this one? No, there isn't. It's a 1-0 defeat in the first leg. 12 shots, 6 on target, 57% possession, 5 shots, 2 on target, 43% of the ball for Leipzig. I'm going to aggressively say far from pleased with that result. And at least everyone's responded positively, which is good. But it doesn't put us in a good position going into the second leg, and it would be so very much like us to fall at the final hurdle. And maybe Fur's one of those players that, like, if we get enough cash during the off-season, which is unlikely looking at our current finances, but maybe he's one of those sort of players that we need to start looking at trying to bring in to take us to the next level. David Lind, I don't know why I keep doing that. David Lind gets the Man of the Match award, 5 key passes and a 7.3 match rating. 7.3 getting Man of the Match kind of tells you the story of the day, though. Ortiz has got over knock. He's out 7 to 11 days, which isn't great. Mbungu hasn't scored now in 8 games. And Mancini leaks to the press that I slammed them after the game, which is true. I did do it. I stand by it. Let's just use a rest day. Try and get everyone fit. And we will rotate quite a bit because we've got a game against West Ham at home in a couple of days. We will try and probably play some of our subs and backup players. Keep everyone as fit as humanly possible for the away leg. But magic of editing, we're going to jump forward a week to the away match and look at the lineups for the game away at the Red Bull Arena. All right, just like that, we are a week ahead. Now, a little bit earlier than what we would normally come back. We're going to go with our counter-attacking structure, which is the balanced mentality. It's pretty much the same instructions, just a tiny little bit deeper. There are 2 changes that we have to be wary of. So Ortiz hasn't quite made it back from his knock. He can't really get through 80 minutes at the moment, so we're not going to risk him from the start. We're going to play Jimmy Winter as an inside forward on the left. And the other change is Henri coming back into the side, which is huge for us as well. Leicester actually had 2 really good games. He played against West Ham during the week as well. We got a 3-0 victory, which was fantastic to see. So I think we probably will try and get him some time throughout the course of this game. We'll just see how it plays out as the game wears on. Otherwise, it is pretty much a full-strength lineup available to pick from, which is a fantastic problem to have. We'll go counter. We'll see how we get on. We have then got the ability to go to this attacking structure if we need to start trying to chase a goal. Obviously, that 1-0 deficit, not great really from our perspective. And it does mean that either Leipzig are going to kind of just play their regular game and hope they get a second goal to kill off the tie, or they're going to sit quite deep and we're going to need to try and drag them out a little bit, maybe like coax them out with some vertical tiki-taka to pressing the ball high, and then we go after that. So for us, just those 2 changes, Winter and Henri coming back in for Leipzig. Nothing jumping out at me as being a huge change from the first game. Bentele and Ost have changed their roles a little bit in the second half here. Looks like they're playing a deep line playmaker and maybe an advanced playmaker alongside. Ernst Laws at the 10. We didn't look at him last time. 2.5-star current ability, 3-star potential. German player looks like he came through Leipzig Academy. He looks okay. Nothing spectacular. Delura on the left wing, I think played in the first game as well. Again, nothing super spectacular. Came through at Dresden. He's been at Leipzig for a good few seasons. A lot of the players that they've got here, actually, they've had for quite a while. Fer did the damage last time out. Bentelli, their leading assist maker and captain for the season. Herrera in goal, we can have a look at him. He looks, again, okay. Mexican international, probably a teammate of Rivera. 3-star current ability and potentially. Looks okay. Nothing super spectacular about him. This is a side that we can beat. I know we're capable of doing it. They're not as good as Dortmund was. Passionately, we're going to say we owe Leipzig after what happened in the last match, and everyone's responded positively, which is fantastic. If we can get off to a good start and get an early goal, it's just going to help us a tremendous amount and hopefully try and drag Leipzig out a little bit further to try and get a goal back off them. We are wearing our yellow away kit, which you don't see too often. It's almost a European special at the moment. Our black and gold tend to come out far more often. First 15 minutes are through. First highlight really that we're seeing now, 16 minutes in. Throw-in taken by Laws, who turns and finds Fer in behind. We've got to stay goal side on him, boys. And he finds the finish, but I think it's going to get dragged back for offside. Thank God, we've gotten away with one there. Deep free kick again, Trebelli. The line's too high, boys. Senol with the ball, wide right area, cut back. Pinballs around, Lind gets it away. Now back to Trebelli. Ost, just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Senol, Ost, Trebelli. Senol again, working the triangles nicely. We're being made to do the doggies in this one. Fontana wins it back in a good area and plays forward to Peacock. What can we do on the counter-attack here? Ball to Rivera's poor, and then Fer's going to get goal side again. He shrugs off Esteban's challenge, and he's hit the inside of the post before Mokhtar scrambles it away. This Christian Fer guy is an absolute beast. Trebelli, throw in, deep right-hand side for Leipzig. I'm thinking we might need to make a change. They're having a concerted spell of pressure here about 25 minutes in. Ball out to Delura on the left-hand side. Peacock's won it back in a good area. Maybe this is about to turn as a positive to us, as soon as I say that, we give away possession. Garcia with the long ball forward. Esteban recovers, but he's out of position now. Thankfully, Delura doesn't look too forward too early. Fer takes a touch around Mokhtar, and from the wide left area, thankfully, puts it into the side netting. Let's go positive. Let's just mix it up just a little bit for the next 10 minutes. Try and get a handle back on this game. It's a lot of highlights we had for Leipzig in a quick spell. We're going to demand more as well. With about 10 minutes remaining in the half. No one's responded particularly positively to it. A few players looking a bit nervous, a bit anxious out there. And with 1 minute of additional time, it's 0 all at halftime. Similar to the first leg, actually. 8 shots, 4 on target, 50% of the ball for Leipzig. 2 shots, 2 on target, 50% of the ball for us. We weren't playing particularly well on counter, so maybe we go attacking, maybe. Passionately, we're going to say media have given a lot of credit lately. We're going to passionately tell everyone you can still improve, just to try and get as many people as possible fired up and motivated. And then let's also make that change. Let's go attacking, screw it. If we're going to go out of Europe, we're going to go out swinging. That's always been our mentality. We might as well use it here. Rivera struggling again. Hasn't had the best couple of games. Peacock not playing particularly well. Lind not playing particularly well. So definitely a good ceiling for a good few players to do better. Lind, wide free kick. Chance to get it back now. And someone's gone down in the box. The referee has given a penalty. It's going to go to VAR first. And it's going to be Rivera with a chance from the spot. Please, Pablo. Please, my little Mexican wonderkind. Please try and find the back of the net. This will be huge if it goes in. Herrera's, of course, saved it. Fucking of course he has. God damn it, Football Manager. You reel me in yesterday's episode, thinking it's the best thing ever. Peacock with a deep corner. It's not great. Barbosa will try and keep it in. Goes past one and then wins another corner again. Actually, no. It goes out for a goal kick. Peacock with a corner again. At least we're having highlights. I should be probably happier about that. Peacock with the ball, wide left area, goes to drive himself. Maybe could have squared that up to Henry at the edge of the area. He is a good strike from distance, but we are getting back into it. I shouldn't complain. We're getting back into the game a little bit. We're through 58, 57 now. Rivera obviously struggling massively with that penalty miss. Do I bring on Phillips, who again hasn't scored in what feels like 100 years, but he's a big ugly shit and he's got good heading ability. Maybe if we do get into wide areas, we could use someone that just nods that chance home. Barbosa not playing particularly well either. We'll hold off on that one. Maybe we try and get Larry Ortiz out there. He's not ready, but effectively, most of our season will be over if we don't get a good result in this game anyway. So we might bring him on, and we'll hold on to that last sub. I wanted to try and get Gary Lester some time, but I don't think it's going to happen as things currently stand. We'll hit play, and we're also going to use Old Faithful, get creative shout with an hour gone. Just need one goal, boys. We just need one finish, one pass, one assist. It would be more than enough to help us get through. I think if we go to injury time, our conditioning is good, but we haven't seen really any highlights. All right, one more pause. We're going to go all-out attack. Wing backs to attack. Wingers to attack. We've got one more sub up our sleeve. Peacock hasn't had the greatest game, but I don't want to take him off. Ortiz, Phillips, Lind. We'll take off Lind, and we'll bring on Gary Lester for the last 10 minutes. Assertively, I have faith in you. Make a difference. One more roll of the dice. We've got one more demand more shout for the last 10 minutes. Come on, boys. Wherever you're watching from in the world, help me get through this game. We're into 90 minutes now. 3 minutes of additional time. It's going to be a boring 0-0 draw, isn't it? Deep free kick with Carlos Andre. Very, very deep on the left-hand side for us. Ball over the top for Phillips to chase. Can he find the finish? It's the worst finish I've ever seen in my life. He's just passed it to the goalkeeper. And they've gone a long ball forward. Delura comes forward for Leipzig. Wide left area. What can we do? Leicester wins it back in a good area. He has picked up a yellow card in the last minute. And the referee calls full time. What a disappointment. Oh, Rivera, that missed penalty is going to absolutely haunt my dreams for the entire weekend. In the end, 12 shots, 6 on target, 49% possession for Leipzig, 8 shots, 5 on target, 51% of the ball for us, and we fall to a goal conceded in the home leg calmly. Unacceptable. And everyone's responded positively, which is good. I guess that kind of shows our progression as a team. We're now seeing it as being unacceptable that we've lost in a European semi-final. Liverpool will go through into the final representing England. I don't know who I want to win that. Liverpool maybe, because they'll go into Champions League football. They're already in the top 4 spots. It feels like points dropped rather than points earned. And what does that do to the rest of our season? Defeat in Europa League semi-final. We qualify for the Conference League, which is great. So we've got European football again next season in, I think, the Euro Cup 2 or the Europa Conference is what it's being referred to here. But we want to try and push now and get back into the Europa League and maybe keep an outside chance to get into the Champions League spots. I don't think we'll do a Saturday episode now. Maybe we'll jump forward. I might play the Bournemouth game off screen now. We might come back, make this like a mega huge episode. I've got the lucky jacket on. We've got to try and get some sort of good result. And we might make it like a 3-game episode and play the last game of the season against Liverpool because why not? Magic of editing. We'll jump forward to that game now. Tries to get it back in. Kenner with a good header away. He's come up with some very good interventions in this second half, Nolan Kenner. Robson Michael on the right-hand side. Just stand him up, boys. It's cut back for Linus. And that's the goal that seals it. Our season has just kind of come petering to an end. It hasn't really carried on the momentum that I think we had after the Dortmund game. And while it's disappointing, it does kind of show the level that we want to get to. They've brought on quality subs, whereas I think like when we bring on our subs, we're not necessarily replacing like for like quality. And that might be the big improvement that we have to make during this offseason, trying to get more overall squad depth, more competition for places, more competition for starts. Referee calls full time. It's a 2-0 defeat. 18 us in the end. 9 shots, 4 on target. 56% for Liverpool. We're going to say far from haven't had a bad season by any stretch. I should stop being so negative. Liverpool are a good team against West Ham, a 93rd minute winner actually, which eventually sees them above us. Does mean we'll get Europa League football again next season with £4.25 million, which is huge for us. We desperately need that money. Shot to shit. Negative 40 stand. Few interesting awards. Rivera actually got the top scorer for the league itself, 25 goals in 38 appearances. Finished level with Callan Apostol from Aston Villa. And Vasha from Man City, a little bit further back in with 17 goals for the season. Passionately, we'll give him a bit of praise. Excellent response from him. Henry wins the English Young Player of the Year award. We're going to give him a bit of praise as well, which isn't a massive surprise given their ongoing success. Initial budgets for him, we've got £1.2 million and £1.2 million a week in wages and 46.52 transfer budget to work with. We probably aren't going to do too much. We might only get 1 or 2 players in. That's not the most money in the world. I don't want to destroy our finances by backloading too many different transfer fees. All right, the last little bit for the season. Team of the year is pretty much what you expect. Our strongest lineup, Barbosa makes it out of Osorio, who at the start of the season we thought might start a bit more. Arno Henry wins Young Player of the Season. David Lind, £40 million signing of the year. Goal of the season was got Screamer against the Ajax. Go back and check out Wednesday's episode, I think it was, if you want to check out that one. And Arnaud Henry, 59% of the vote in the Player of the Season poll, which is very much to be expected. Squad dynamics are pretty good. We're not looking to change those too much. And maybe we might try... Right, the club objective is that we want to establish ourselves as a Premier Division side. We're going to just go along with that. Most have responded positively with it. Passionately will say exactly the sort of reaction. And you know what? It hasn't gone too horrifically, which is great. Injury report, Peacock, interestingly, 8 injuries for the season. He hasn't been available that much, which has hurt us. And Ortiz as well, also struggled to get fit. Carlos Andre in there too, Osorio, Winter. A few guys not getting through the most of the games. We also get to pick our preseason training camp. Where are we going to go? USA, Germany, Austria, South Africa, Scotland, Holland, Hong Kong, Singapore, or China. We'll go with the USA, why not? Big media market. See if we can't get some extra coin from it. And that does bring the curtain. We finished 11th, 10th, 7th, and now 6th. Hopefully next season into those top 4 spots is what I think we're going to aim for if we get ourselves into a good position in the transfer market. As always, guys, thank you for the continued support on the series. It's a shame that we haven't finished off the week on a high, but it has still been an excellent season. I shouldn't lose sight of that. If you want to continue to support the channel, you can drop a like on this video. You can also subscribe to be kept up to date on all of our future videos right up until the release of Football Manager 2021. But like I always say, more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching and coming along for the ride. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer. One minute of additional time to be added on. We're through that now. So at halftime, 6 shots, 1 on target, 50% of the ball for us. 5 shots, 2 on target, 50% for Liverpool as well. We're going to go into the dressing room. We're going to get aggressive, show me something else in the second half. And then tactically, I know I keep doing it. And I know so far it's only worked 1 out of the 10 times I've tried it. But we're going to set the wing backs to attacking. We're going to set the wingers to attack as well. And then defensively, we might also go a bit more urgent in our press. Let's see if we can't push the advantage here. Get a little bit gegenpressing on Liverpool for a change and see if we can't try and find an equalising goal. As things stand though, we do stay in 5th spot. Looks like Tottenham still just drawing their match. Through the hour mark now, we might look to make our final changes of the year. Rivera has struggled again, which is disappointing. Might actually sort by average rating now. Ortiz hasn't had the greatest game. We'll bring on Jimmy Winter. Play him as an inside forward on that left-hand side. Rivera, you know what? I'll leave Rivera out there. We'll take off David Lind. David Lind, why do I always do that and bring on Gary Lester? We wanted to play him. Of course, in the previous game in Europe, didn't get the chance to. Peacock's on the yellow card as well. We'll have to keep an eye on that in the last few minutes here. We're going to use our Get Creative shout. And there is a highlight starting from the Liverpool goal kick. Similar position to where they dragged us forward in the last one. Linus with the ball now to Juria. Now, back into him again. Keep an eye on that left peg. He's looked out to Blaze on the right-hand side. He hasn't done much this game. Nearly squares it back up. Then Henry gets the ball away. Valdo resets for Liverpool. Garea, left-hand side. Valdo back to Ruabin, I think is the left back's name. Into CM. Rivera has won the ball back off him. He's got a lot of work to do from the wide left area. Gets the strike away and he's not favoured right foot. Carmo does quite well to push it over for the corner. Peacock to take. Looks towards near post. Rivera was in the area, but it's hit cleared away. Henry, wide left area now. Blaze wins the ball back from him and sends it up the line. Carlos Andre recovers as the highlight comes to an end. Blaze, deep ball across towards backstick. Kenny's clipped the inside of the post and then Carlos Andre gets the ball away. That's a couple of chances we're giving Liverpool that have come back off the post in this one. Blaze to take the resulting corner. Good curl on it, but Mancini reads it well, comes out and claims at far post. So both sides having highlights here in the second half. We're into the last 10 minutes. We've got a highlight here. Let's let this play out. We'll see what Peacock does from the free kick, or from the corner kick, towards Barbosa, who just had to get it on target, but blazes over. And Henri Blaze, funnily enough, just as I mentioned blazes over, has come off. We can bring on Bangu for Peacock, who hasn't had the best game. I have faith in you. He hasn't scored in 100 years, but we'll use Demand more as well. Last 10 minutes. Can we find an equaliser to try and finish the season on a high note? Hamilton, out now to Salajan. Back to Hamilton again, all the way back to Kunakama in goal. But 2 men go to the ball, which is always a frustration when that happens. We only need 1. Ruabin into Garea. Back to Ruabin again. And Bangu nearly wins it back on halfway, then gives it straight back to them. Not the best ball player that we've got in the squad. Don't both go to the ball. 2 men go to the ball again. And that's where they caught us out for their first goal. Robson, Michael, right-hand side. Ball into Garea. Well cut out by Fontana. Can he work it to this right-hand side? And Bungo gets goal side. Rivera with the strike from the edge of the area, but it's closed down well by the Liverpool defence. We might be able to squeeze in one more shout. We've got on the short corner. Back to Barbosa now. Square ball towards Winter. Tries to get it back in. Kenner with a good header away. He's come up with some very good interventions in this second half, Nolan Kenner. Robson, Michael on the right-hand side. Just stand him up, boys. It's cut back for Linus. And that's the goal that seals it. Our season has just kind of come petering to an end. It hasn't really carried on the momentum that I think we had after the Dortmund game. And while it's disappointing, it does kind of show the level that we want to get to. They've brought on quality subs, whereas I think like when we bring on our subs, we're not necessarily replacing like-for-like quality. And that might be the big improvement that we have to make during this off-season, trying to get more overall squad depth, more competition for places, more competition for starts. Referee calls full time. It's a 2-0 defeat. 18 shots, 6 on target, 44% possession for us in the end. 9 shots, 4 on target, 56% for Liverpool. We're going to say far from pleased with what I just saw from this team, and it's not the best way. Like, we haven't had a bad season by any stretch. I should stop being so negative. Liverpool are a good team. It does see us drop down to 6th spot. Tottenham go above us. They got a win in their game against West Ham, a 93rd minute winner actually, which eventually sees them above us. Does mean we'll get Europa League football again next season, which is good to get another crack at that competition. We get £34.25 million, which is huge for us. We desperately need that money because our finances are shot to shit. Negative £48 million as things currently stand. A few interesting awards. Rivera actually got the top scorer for the league itself, 25 goals in 38 appearances. Finished level with Callan Apostol from Aston Villa and Alan Vasher from Man City, a little bit further back in with 17 goals for the season. Passionately, we'll give him a bit of praise. Excellent response from him. Henri wins the English Players Young Player of the Year award. We're going to give him a bit of praise as well. And Rivera actually makes the Players Team of the Year. Very impressive. It's a very Man United dominated side, which isn't a massive surprise given their ongoing success. Initial budgets for him, we've got £1.2 million and £1.2 million a week in wages and 46.52 transfer budget to work with. We probably aren't going to do too much. We might only get 1 or 2 players in. That's not the most money in the world. I don't want to destroy our finances by backloading too many different transfer fees. All right, the last little bit for the season. Team of the year is pretty much what you expect. Our strongest lineup, Barbosa makes it out of Osorio, who at the start of the season we thought might start a bit more. Arnaud Henri wins Young Player of the Season. David Lind, £40 million signing of the year. Goal of the season was Neil Peacock's screamer against the Ajax. Go back and check out Wednesday's episode, I think it was, if you want to check out that one. And Arnaud Henri, 59% of the vote in the Player of the Season poll, which is very much to be expected. Squad dynamics are pretty good. We're not looking to change those too much. And maybe we might try... Right, the club objective is that we want to establish ourselves as a Premier Division side. We're going to just go along with that. Most have responded positively with it. Passionately will say exactly the sort of reaction. And you know what? It hasn't gone too horrifically, which is great. Injury report, Peacock, interestingly, 8 injuries for the season. He hasn't been available that much, which has hurt us. And Ortiz as well also struggled to get fit. Carlos Andre in there too. Osorio, Winter. A few guys not getting through the most of the games. We also get to pick our pre-season training camp. Where are we going to go? USA, Germany, Austria, South Africa, Scotland, Holland, Hong Kong, Singapore, or China. We'll go with the USA, why not? Big media market. See if we can't get some extra coin from it. And that does bring the curtain down on the 2035 season, season 16, and our 4th season in the Premier League. We've finished 11th, 10th, 7th, and now 6th. Hopefully next season into those top 4 spots is what I think we're going to aim for if we get ourselves into a good position in the transfer market. As always, guys, thank you for the continued support on the series. It's a shame that we haven't finished off the week on a high, but it has still been an excellent season. I shouldn't lose sight of that. If you want to continue to support the channel, you can drop a like on this video. You can also subscribe to be kept up to date on all of our future videos right up into the release of Football Manager 2021. But like I always say, more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching and coming along for the ride. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.